Hello fishing friends, this is Matthew with Outfishing 13 bringing you another reel service and repair video. Today I'm going to super tune America's favorite reel, the Zebco 33. This is the 33N that was introduced in 2019 or 2020 and it's brand new, and we're going to add 3 new ball bearings to it, super tuning it so it's a 4 ball bearing reel, which basically makes it gives it as many bearings as the 33 Platinum. The gear ratio is not going to be as fast, but it's going to be a better reel altogether. So let's get started. Make sure you subscribe to my channel if you like this video and want to see more of them and get notified, and give me a big thumbs up. That really helps my channel to grow and it makes the video available to more people. Let's get started. Okay, let's get working on this Zebco 33N. We're going to do a full service of this, and we're also going to add some ball bearings to it. So if you're not super tuning your reel, just keep in mind that I'm just replacing some bushings with some ball bearings. If you don't have those, it's the same procedure. Today we'll need some tools. We'll need a screwdriver. We'll need a pair of needle nose pliers. We'll need some reel grease. I'm using the Penn Precision Reel Grease, and some reel oil, and I'm using this Lucas reel oil. To get started, you just need to remove the cap. I'm going to go ahead and take this line keeper off. If you save those, you can always use them again to store your reel with. So we need to take off the front cover of this Zebco 33. It just takes a little twist to the left, and then it pops right off, okay? Take the spinner cone off by holding the handle and spinning it to the left. To take the spool off, it has this E-clip here. You take a screwdriver and you insert it right into that little space right there and give it a little twist and a little push. Okay, note that it came off this way. A lot of these are starting to, instead of being able to put them on any way, you have to put them on one way, this way or that way. Take off this stainless steel drag ring. It's keyed, so it only goes on really one way. And then you have a drag washer that's like a fiber drag washer. Then the spool will come off. These have a little plastic ring on them. Be careful that you don't lose that and pop that off. Okay, this also has another drag washer on the back there, and another stainless steel washer. And then it has the drag adjustment gear here. It has a little it's a convex washer here. It goes up and the cup goes down. Okay, you can take this off if you want, but generally you don't need to take that out. This will fall out, so just take and remove that. The wheel will stay in there though. Okay, so that's all that we can do on that. Sorry. So let's take off the back using a large screwdriver. Remove this handle screw. With the handle. And the screw. Okay, right here is one of the first bushings. Now you could technically take and get something and pick that out of there, but since I want to do a full repair, I'm just going to take it all the way apart. Okay, to get this off, there's a little trick to it. You push the handle down and you put a small screwdriver right in this spot here and give it a little try. Then take and turn your, make sure it pops all the way off. One of the things that you can do is squeeze it this way, right, from side to side, and then the back will come off. Then turn it and kick it off. Handle comes up, pulls to the side, and comes off. Okay, now we're getting to the heart of the reel. We just have a few more things to take out, and then we can put bearings in there. When you take this keeper off right here, this is a bearing retaining keeper, and it just comes out like this. And then we need to take out that bushing right there and that bushing there. There's one. That's what the bushing looks like. And then two. Now you always got to be careful. On this side there's generally a small washer, and it adjusts the gear lash. There it is right there. It just fell out, okay? It's important to make sure you don't lose that, because that adjusts the gear lash, how much lash there is there. Okay, now I'm not going to take out the bite alert, so to get this way out, I'm just going to push this out of the way, this direction here, just pull it over with my finger and get this gear out, okay? Okay, there you go. Now one of the things that's going to happen is the anti-reverse pawl is going to fall out of place. And that's this little piece right here. Also, this is going to fall out of there. Alright. But this anti-reverse pawl, I've gone over this. I have another separate video that explains how this goes back in there. And I'll go over that very carefully. And then this little piece right here is the anti-reverse actuator. Okay. Okay, now that we have it apart, I can reach down in here with a small screwdriver and push out that one last bushing. Okay, there we go. Alright, now we're ready to start putting it back together. Now at this point, if you have a reel that needs to be serviced and cleaned, that's where you're going to want to take the time to make sure this is all cleaned out there. You can take this switch out here, and I've shown you in another video how to take this switch out. You don't really need to take this wheel out right here, although there is a way to take it out, and that is when you take this out here, then that wheel will drop down and come out. But other than that, except for with this, I mean, this right here is just a little spring that can come out. But that's the frame, and everything has been removed with the exception of this wheel and the anti-reverse switch. Okay, the first thing I want to do when doing a super tune, because that's what we're going to do, we're going to replace these three bushings here with 3 of these ball bearings. These ball bearings are 1/4 inch by 1/2 inch by 3/16 inch wide. And the part number, let me get this up here. The part number is an EY030-01, and it's for a 33J, 33K, 33N, 33 gold. It's for a lot of reels in the 33 size. And they're very common bearings. You can buy these on eBay or on Amazon or some other precision ball bearing store. Okay, the first thing we want to do with these though is we want to make sure that it has some oil in it. And since they're shielded, we just want to put a little bit of oil around there and then let it soak in. And it soaks in pretty fast. Okay. We want to take and put one in the nose here. So you can push that in there. Okay, with this ball bearing in, I can go ahead and put the main pinion shaft in. Alright, and at this point you can take, and servicing this, you can add some oil to this and push this in and work that oil in a little bit. Okay, we can add some oil to this bearing here. Now this is not a closed bearing, but we can add some oil to that. We already got oil on that one, so we just need to take and put this in here, just like so. All right. Okay, now we're ready to put the rest of it back together. One of the tricky things is getting this anti-reverse pawl put back together. And let me show you how that works. Basically, the anti-reverse engages with that little slot right there and with the gears just like that. When this is held stationary by the switch, then this whole thing can spin around like so, okay? Otherwise, this creates a little bit of friction and engages the anti-reverse, and it locks it in place. So this one, it falls out when you take it apart, and don't lose it. You can replace those parts, but the best way that I found to put it back together is to take and put a little bit of grease on it. It goes down in this little slot right here. Okay, there's two slots. There's this slot and then there's this slot. This slot is where it sets down in there. So you just want to take and like this, put this down in there so it sits in the slot just like that. Now we need to put the main shaft in. When you do, you have to get that little finger right there to engage with the anti-reverse pawl. Get it started in there with that part heading down there just like this. Get that down in there. See that down in there? How that finger is now engaged with the anti-reverse pawl. Okay, now we can put the bearings on. Let's start with putting on this one. Put that bearing in there. Put one of the old bushings in there, and using your handle screw, go ahead and seat it in there just like that. Okay. And then we need to make sure we put this little washer on there. Okay, I could have put it on there earlier. And then put another bearing on there, and a bushing, and seat it in there all the way. And then we can put the bushing or bearing keeper in there. And snap it in. Now I'm going to try it to make sure that the anti-reverse is working. Yep, the anti-reverse is working just fine. Okay. Well, before I do that, let's go ahead and grease this gear. And I'm going to use some of my really good Lucas red grease. Okay. To put grease on here, we just want to put a small amount around on these gears right here. Okay, and that's all. Okay. All right, and when we turn the handle, that will lube up the pinion. When I put this button on, I like to put a little bit of grease right here. Just right on that metal piece. Put my handle back on. Okay. turn it this way and then slide it over there like that. And then what you need to do is, I always felt like you had to put the top on and then just snap it on like that. But it's easier if you take and you squeeze it from side to side, put the top on, just like that. Okay, and that will make it easier. Okay, this bearing fell out. We need to push that back in. Put a little bit of grease on this little gear right here before you put it in. It needs to seat down all the way like that. Then this can go on next. And you put it back together, put it in that position. That's all the way loose. Then remember, when you put this up, the cup side goes up. Okay, the concave side that's bowed up like that. Okay, and then I'm going to use a little bit of this pin reel grease to grease this as I go along. I'm not going to put very much because it already has a good plenty amount on there. But I just want to take a little bit and put it on here. I want to put it on this shaft here because this is what the spool runs on. Then I put on this, and it's keyed, so it needs to go in that keyway. And then I put on this, and I want to put a little bit of grease on here. You know, it already has some. And I can put on my spool. These clickers go down and engage like that. And you can add a little bit of grease here. Put on a fiber washer. A little bit of grease. Put on a keyed washer. And then the retain clip. And remember, the retain clip on these can only go on one way. It's from this side. There. We're ready to put this on. This has been lubricated, but we'll want to take in, you'd want to add a little bit of oil to these hinge pins here. You'd want to add a little bit of grease here to each one of these little cam wheels. You'd also want to add some grease around here. Okay? And then just spin that back on. Make sure the pins retract all the way out, and when you push the button in, they should retract all the way in. Okay? Put the handle back on, and the handle screw. Okay, I just want to make sure everything is working here before I put the cover back on. Yep, and it looks great. Test the drag. The drag works great. Okay, tighten it up. That works good. Try the bite alert. That works fine too. Okay, we'll put the cover back on. Push the button in to put the cover on. The hole goes towards the bottom, so just kind of turn it to the side a little bit and wiggle it around, and then turn it and snap it into place, and it's good to go. So what does super tuning do for a reel? Well, it does a couple things. One, it gives you more durable bushings. These bushings will last a long time, but not as long as ball bearings. So these could wear out pretty quickly. The ball bearings are going to make it a lot stronger, and it's going to last a lot longer. Plus, it's just going to make it smoother. See that? Just a lot smoother of a reel, and it's going to be a lot more durable. So basically, we've turned a regular authentic 33 that costs about $16. You can get them on sale maybe for $12 or $13. This in the clam pack at Walmart or other tackle shops. A Zebco 33 Platinum running about $36 a piece. So for about $6 or $7, you can actually tune this up so you have a real true 3-ball bearing reel. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you give me a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel by pushing on the button right over there. Thanks for your time, and enjoy the next time you go fishing. Have a great day. Bye.